Welcome to another Your Goodness unboxing. Today we're going to be taking a look at Woodcraft, a game designed by Vladimir Suhi and Ross Arnold and published by Rio Grande Games, who kindly provided this review copy. All right, let's get started. So Vladimir Suhi is one of our favorite designers. We have most of his games, or played, I think pretty much all of them from Pulsar onwards. So we've actually played Woodcraft a few times before. It's an interesting game, and we're excited to explore it further. So let's see what we got here. We're big fans of Praga, though. Obviously, Underwater series is fantastic, but Praga has like a similar action selection mechanism that Woodcraft does. Of course, the gameplay is a bit different. Okay. All right, so there's some bags in here. Let's separate these out. All right. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. Got some cards. Cards are actually bagged. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see what we got here. Let me start with the rule book, I guess. I'll go through the components afterwards. Okay. So this is the rule book. In the front, you have the game components here, the overview, and then this is like the setup of the game. Okay, we got player setup, gameplay, talking about the flow of the game, different action tiles, how they work, and then free actions that you can take. And there's like some starting cards that you set up the game with as well. You have your player board here that you set up. This explains how the action wheel works. So the action wheel is divided into quarters here, and on your turn you're going to be taking one of the actions and advancing it, and then if there's bonuses adjacent, you'll be able to get those bonuses. And then there's also kind of like a stopper blade in there as well, so you can only take the action so many times before the whole wheel needs to move, and when the wheel moves, all the older action tiles, the bonuses get better on them. So it's kind of an interesting system the way that it works. Yeah, so the actions are explained here. You can buy lumber, you can exchange dice, you can buy materials, you can get more orders, you can hire these helpers to kind of give you some abilities in your workshop. And then you can plant and produce wood via growing your trees, which is, in my opinion, kind of the most fun aspect of the game is the tree growth, because between rounds your dice grow, and you can kind of use that and work around it and time it to help to fulfill orders in future rounds, which is cool. Talking about sawing tiles, improving your workshops, and then gluing tiles. So the wood is represented by these different colors of dice, the green, brown, and yellow, and then you can literally cut the dice into different values and to split the values, or you can glue two of them together as well, which is kind of neat. Okay. Harvesting trees, completing orders. Yeah, and then penalties here. Cool. And then there's this like set collection mechanic here, which is like the tools in the attic. Which is it's not my favorite aspect of the game, but you're just kind of grabbing these tools, and you can't put two of the same tools next to each other, and then you activate the bonuses that they surround. Okay, end of the turn, marketing. At the end of the round, you can pay blueberries, which is like the currency in the game, to get victory points, which are represented by like these hazelnuts, or I guess they're hazelnuts. Yep. And then end of the round, there's like an income phase. Yep. And the game actually moves at a pretty quick pace. It's like 12 rounds, and then that's kind of it. So there's like a final income, and then a scoring, and then a solo rules, and then a rules reminder on the back, and an icon reference, which is really nice. All right. These are just kind of this is a sheet explaining how some of the helper effects work. Game, and then some of the bonuses that you'll find on the wheel. Cool. All right, this is kind of the income board where you're going to be tracking like your income for blueberries and hazelnuts, the points. And then this like, you get these like fruit bonuses kind of, I guess, for completing some orders. And it moves you up here and you're able to score. Your contracts will be worth more and more points depending on how far up you are on this track, which is kind of interesting. We've got a little bit of punch board. So there's like some blueberries here. And then these are like the workshop tiles that you can use to upgrade your workshops. Okay. These are some of the action tiles, some more blueberries. Okay. And then this is the scoreboard here. So just like a score track over here and then a place to put market of cards up here. The contracts go up here and then the helpers go down here and then the right to most cards, I think at the end of the round you discard and replace. And then we have some more cardboard in here. Let's just set this aside. Okay. All right. So these are some saw blades that you also have in your workshop, and you can like use them like once per round. I think these are some of the tiles that go out onto the score track to change up the bonuses. And then this is for the saw wheel and some more blueberries. And then a set of trees for everyone to have. And then these are the player boards. So you have like your workshop where you can put like your helper cards here. And then you start with a saw blade, but you can get more. And then you can get the ability to like glue things. And then you start with like the green trees. But then you can also get the yellow and the brown, which are kind of like more valuable types of wood. And then place to store dice over here, and then an attic where you can put your tools. And then your contracts go alongside the board, and they're worth different bonuses depending on where you place them, but they kind of like degrade each round. So eventually they'll give you less and less bonuses, and then eventually maybe cost you some points if you don't complete them. And then this is a whole bunch of like the different tools, the blueberries, and then some. These are like action tiles that you can use. And then there's these lantern tokens where I think you can turn in 2 tokens to do like an additional action or turn in 1 token to ignore the action you're doing and do a different action. It's been a little bit, I kind of forget that. And then this is the saw wheel that has like the bonuses on the inside and the outside that'll kind of change up as you're playing. And then a couple more player boards in different colors here. Okay, all right, so that's all the cardboard components here. All right, and then let's see what we got here. So these are the wood and the saw blades. They're just kind of like some basic wooden discs and cubes, but you know, they work fine. Nothing too elaborate. And then the glue, these are just like yellow clear plastic discs. They're very much the similar, or I would imagine that they're the same as like the yellow income buildings in underwater cities, because same company, and they kind of look identical to those. And then some player cubes here and some discs for scoring in the different colors. So you have purple, blue, orange, and white. Okay, those are fine. And then the dice. So the dice are pretty cool, actually. They're wooden dice, and they're, like I said, the 3 different colors. So they're, yeah, they're pretty vibrant, but they have a nice look. They're easy to distinguish too. So you have like the brown, the yellow, and the green, and they're like kind of different values. All right, and then there's 2 bags of cards. So they're not shrink wrapped, which is kind of cool. They're already in bags. These are like contract cards. Card quality is like not too bad. They're reasonably thick, maybe a little thin, but decent quality. Yeah, and these are like the contracts that you're trying to fulfill. So it's telling you, you know, what dye or what types of wood that you might need, and then what you also need to pay. So some of these things are more dice, and some of them are more items. They might be saw blades or extra wood or glue. And yeah. So those are some contracts, and then these are some goals I think that you can aim for here. And some of these might be solo, or they're starting objectives or something. Okay. That's those. And then there's some more cards here. Okay. All right. So this is like the start player card, I think, this little squirrel here. But then you have these are the contracts, yeah. So there's like, I think there's like, yeah, there's level 1 and level 2. So they're like 1 and 2 blueberries on the back. But they're divided up into like level 1 and level 2 contracts and stuff, because they get more difficult to fulfill, but they might be worth more points, and the benefits they give you might be more targeted towards later in the game. So partway through the game, I think they switch out the level 1s for the level 2s, I think. Okay. Like I said, there's start player. These look like maybe Atoma cards. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So these are solo cards that you use just to take away some things and to block some actions. And then these are the helpers. I think there's level 1 and level 2 helpers as well that have different types of abilities on them. Yeah. So artwork's nothing spectacular. I think the items look a lot better than the people. The people are like these kind of like wood elves, but they're a little weird looking. But the items itself, like the workshop items that you make, are pretty cool. So there's those, and then some like level 1s, and then there might even be some like starting helpers that you get as well. Yeah. So those are basically all the components. Yep. So there's all the components in Woodcraft here. Like I said, we've played it a couple times before, but I am looking forward to trying it again and exploring it a little bit more. Once again, I wanted to thank Rio Grande Games for kindly providing this copy. And please look forward to some content on this once we're able to try it again. I'll give some impressions. And if you like this video, please consider subscribing, and please comment and like the video, and look forward to more in the future. Okay, thank you.